Hi there, Serial Trader here. Let's have a look at weed. So since the last video, we ended on this bullish hammer gap up after the big announcement. We had a little bit of consolidation on Thursday, and then we had a weaker open on Friday, but that just simply led to a huge rally and then a massive bullish engulfing candlestick and a break of the highs that were made after the big news came out. So looking very bullish here. And I'll point out, so the deal price that's announced that's going to go ahead in October is in the 48s. So I'm actually still kind of baffled how we're not even already trading at least at the 48 level, if not higher, because that's what the company's been valued at by a multi-billion-dollar player. But that being said, markets don't have to be rational, that's for sure. And in my opinion, this is just an incredible opportunity to buy even more before we get up to at least the deal price and likely well beyond it. And certainly with this bullish Elliott wave outlook here, we're clearly up in some sort of strong third wave. With the candlestick now, a nice bullish engulfing candlestick. Volume still fantastic, engulfing the two prior real bodies. So that implies, the next 3 to 5 price bars will be in the upward direction, which is easily enough to get us up to that all-time high level or beyond if that has some follow-through. And also just looking at the Fibonacci relationships between 1 and 2, we have the 1.618 relationship. We've already smashed through that. We have the 2.0 relationship. We've actually gotten beyond that and closed above it. We have the reverse fib 1.382. That was easily overcome. And then we have the reverse fib 2.0, and that's close to the 2.0 of 1 off of 2 there. Next in line, as far as fib extensions go, is the 2.618, and that gets us right up in the 47s. And I could even be underestimating this, but certainly you don't want to get too excited here. Despite having this huge, bullish fundamental catalyst in play, this will still trade in, waves, and it'll still have little pullbacks and things of that nature. But that being said, there's just every reason to stay bullish here. All right. Now, longer picture, we should do some other relationships. So I'll do a reverse fib of this ABC down, okay? And then what does that bring us to? So the 1.382 of that is 55.18, and the 2.0 multiple of that is 65.63. So that's getting pretty exciting, especially if you have a big position in play. Now another thing, even though this is triangle 4 and we have a 5 up, there's another way of counting this. And you could make the case you just had some sort of A down, B up, and then a C down, and basically just a truncated C wave in a zigzag. Now it doesn't look as good as the triangle does, but it opens up the possibility that if that was the case, and this was just a simple ABC down, we could actually start a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 count here, meaning that this could just be a wave 1 up of a larger degree wave sequence and pattern. This could be a wave 2 down, and we could be heading up in some sort of large degree third wave, which is certainly possible. I'm not going to go ahead and change the labels just yet, but I just thought I'd point it out. But what I am going to do is a Fibonacci relationship with that interpretation in mind. And what we'll do is treat this as the origin. Sorry, hang on here. Get the fib tool out. Treat this as the origin. Treat this as the termination point, and then treat this as the point which to project off of. And we'll do the 1.618 relationship, which would be the most common level for a wave 3 after a 1, 2 up. So we'll do 1.618, and we'll also do 2.0. Okay, so we'll do that. And where does that bring us? So 1.618 brings us to 72. 2.0 brings us to 81.49. So, not saying that that's in play here, but just for a more bullish alternate interpretation. Though there's some fib levels for the upside to be looking at. Now, obviously, the first thing we gotta do is overcome the all-time high. I think that's gonna be pretty easy, though. And then after that, we can start doing some shorter-term fib relationships and extensions, and just get an idea of as we're going along what we can be looking for. Okay, and what else was I gonna do? So on the weekly chart, clearly massive follow through from after getting over the T line on last week's strong candlestick, and right on the cusp of a bullish MACD cross. That's likely to come after this next week, as long as there's no disastrous drops. And nowhere near overbought on RSI, so that can certainly go higher. This still argues that we definitely had a third wave over here, because that was a very high RSI reading, and we've had a lower high in RSI, so a bearish divergence. But I'm willing to ignore this just because everything else is so bullish, and we could certainly still come up and make a lower high in RSI and still hit $60+. So that shouldn't stop you. Shouldn't be a discouraging factor. And if we go to the monthly candlestick chart, you'll see that this this monthly T line has been support this whole way through. And again, we just came down and nicked that monthly T line, couldn't close below it, and well, we're currently in this month, but looks like we're nowhere near in danger of crossing below this T line as this month progresses. So the monthly, super bullish still, nothing but higher highs and higher lows. Weekly, very much the same message. And obviously the daily, we've recently kicked off again. So just looking real good. Also on the daily, these moving averages for MACD are starting to get above the zero line, which is just like a mathematical confirmation according to MACD that the trend is now up again. So that's nice to see. And also daily RSI not yet overbought, which tells me there's still further room to heat up here before we need to cool back down. So everything's just looking phenomenal here. And if you're long, I wouldn't recommend selling here. I'd stay long. And if you're looking to get long, I think it's still actually a decent time to build a position, because we're still below the deal price. And I think that that's just a minimum that we're going to trade up to, and again, likely well beyond that. And being that we just did a bullish engulfing candlestick, that's a very bullish buy signal. And being that this Elliott wave pattern looks nowhere near complete, there's just multiple reasons to be a buyer here if you're not already in. Alright, well that's probably good for now. Serial Trader signing off.